And we're live. Hi, guys. It's good to have you here. My name is David Lemon. I'm the community manager of Groove Digital, and today we have an awesome topic to talk about. Today, we're talking about an About Us page. And About Us page is very important because it is one of the most popular pages that the new visitors click on. So last week I talked about contact pages, and it is very popular and very important to have in case you have a website, because this is increasing trust. About Us page is very popular and very important in case you are targeting new customers, and of course you should be. As a business, you need to have all the time new customers coming in so that you can remain in the business. And an About Us page is very popular because everybody that is new, that is curious, they will click on that page and then read more about you, read more about your business, to learn more about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and things like this. And also to see the team, and you can showcase your company, you can showcase your goal, you can showcase your team, and feel proud that this is a real company that you created. So it is also making you feel better, but your customers can learn more about whatever you are doing, whatever you're working on, and why they should join that journey on with you. So this is what we are talking about today. We will be creating a very interesting About Us page. I will show you in a moment what we will be creating. But yes, this is important in case you have a website. So this is not for a funnel. And in case you are thinking, I will need this for my funnel, the funnel doesn't need an About Us page. Your website, your brand website will need an About Us page, but the funnel is meant for selling products. An About Us page is meant to showcase your company. It is different than a funnel. So in case you're thinking about and focusing on funnels, this is not something you will need immediately, but I would suggest, in case you're a new company and basically new in your niche, I would suggest you to create an About Us page. So I am getting a couple of people joining in. So welcome, guys. It's good to have you here. In case you joined us, please jump into the comment section of this live stream and then just type in something. I'm here, I'm watching something. Hello, David. Anything, just so that I can see you, welcome you, and then later on we can start with the education and the training on how to create an About Us page. So let's just see. I have Christine Case here, as always, saying hello. Good morning, all, from Keisha. Leo is saying nice setup. Thank you very much, Leo. So as Leo saw it, I actually upgraded some of my tools that I'm using, because I'm here with you guys every day, and I believe, and also the company, the Groove Digital, believes that we need to have the best quality videos, and this is what you can see now. So I have a couple of new toys that I've been playing with during the weekend, but this is all to make your learning experience much easier, softer, more visual, and basically to help you reach from point A to point B. This is not something that I need. This is something that we wanted you to have better training videos, better quality, and is just looking better in case you're sharing it. So absolutely, I'm very happy with it, and I believe a lot of others will be happy to have high quality videos. So I can just continue on. I have here Eldon joined us from New Zealand. He is watching us on YouTube today. Ron is watching us on YouTube as well. Lena saying hello, David. Tina Joyner is watching us as well. Happy Monday. Thank you very much. You too, Tina. Helen is watching from Toronto. Hi, Helen. It's good to have you here. Oh, Eldon is watching us also on Facebook, so he is omnipresent. Love your new background, saying Lena. Thank you very much. Coastal Consulting Agency. Hi, David. Hello there. Ron is also on Facebook. Sarah saying hello, all. Facebook user. Hi, hello, David. Hi, David Lemon. Hi, all. So in case you are showing up for me as a Facebook user, please head over to StreamYard.com and StreamYard.com/Facebook. This will allow me to actually see your name, see your profile image, as I've seen the rest of the users when I clicked on their comments. At this point, I'm not able to see yours, but once you approve StreamYard to access your name and your profile image, you will show up for me as everybody else. So Christine saying your camera is great. Love the background too. Thank you very much, Christine. Please teach us how to make a landing page. I am working on this one, and today is not a landing page build, but an About Us page build. So as you saw, today we are creating an awesome About Us page using GroovePages. In case you are interested in learning more about landing pages, what I suggest you to do is either head over to YouTube, or the next best thing is Groove Digital Academy. The Groove Digital Academy is a collection of all our videos which we put into this training area. So you can see videos on GrooveCart and GrooveFunnels. You can see the Groove Digital Presents. This is very important to see because we bring on a lot of experts from outside. So there was Angie Norris. She did an amazing job this Friday, and all the webinars are uploaded into this Groove Digital Presents. So you can have a look. But in case you would like to learn how to create landing pages, just come over here to GrooveFunnels Training, View Course. And then in the over here, Lemonade, these are my videos, and you can view full live builds that I've created. Every Monday, I try to create a full live build. You can see here we created a funnel with upsell and downsell. Then there was a book landing page. Then there was a simplest affiliate funnel. Then there was a one-page lead generation website. Then there was all kinds of stuff. And this is not everything. There is loads more. In case you come to our YouTube channel, you can see all of our live streams, all of our videos that were ever uploaded. This is just the best place to see them categorized this way. Yes, so let me just continue on with this presentation. I have a lot of great people here, and there was a question about GrooveVideo. Ron, we will be creating a video on GrooveVideo tomorrow. So join us tomorrow, same time. I will create a video on that one. So this will be just an introduction video showing you what to click, how to get in there, what are the things you need to be aware of, and things like this. But yes, great. The next thing I want to say is that in case you have questions, please keep them for the end of this stream. At the end of this live training, we will have a Q&A session. This is a question and answer. So you basically ask your questions and I will be answering them. However, for me to make it easier a bit, please put in question dash and then ask away, or at least Q dash and then your question, so that I can quickly scroll through the questions and then basically just pinpoint the one I need to answer. Sometimes there's communication between members in the Facebook chat or on YouTube. So just to make it easier for me, please put Q or question at the beginning of your question. So this will make it easier for me. Yes, but I want to mention something, and this is, why do you need an About Us page? At the introduction of at the beginning of this video, at the beginning of this live stream, I talked about very briefly why an About Us page is important. However, in case you haven't been there, I will go through more in depth now. So an About Us page is very important because it attracts all the new visitors. So for example, you sold, let's say we have a fictional person, Anna is her name. She is already your customer, and now she visited your website and she knows about you. She will probably not go to an About Us page. But let's say that there is Joshua, and Joshua comes to your page and he's new. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know about what you're selling. He doesn't know about anything about your company. He will probably look at your homepage first, and then the next thing is he will go to your About Us page. And this is the second most clicked place where the new visitors go. And then this is important to know, because there you can catch them. You can tell them your story. You can tell them why you started it and how you can help those customers that actually visit the About Us page. So this is where you soft sell. So you actually talk about yourself, talk about why you chose this goal and why you are solving a problem that your customers are having, and why you chose this niche target. And this is what you do on About Us page. About Us page is very confusing sometimes when people just put up like, we opened the company in this and that, and we're focusing on selling this and that, and here are our pictures. This didn't tell anything to anybody. There is no hands-on information that somebody can do with that. So I want to teach you actually how to create about us pages, and then we will go and really create one that is awesome and beautiful, by the way. So why is it one of the most visited pages with new visitors? Because people are curious. They want to know who you are. They want to know what you stand for. They want to know about your brand. They want to see what your brand is about. What is the goal? Why are you choosing to solve this problem itself? This is very popular with new visitors because they want to know more about you. This is also the time when they are actually deciding, can they trust you, can they not trust you? So this is something that is very important. I've seen a couple of about us pages, and that made me actually not buy products as well, because there were about us pages from companies that I didn't know about. I was not familiar with them, but when I saw the about us page, I saw what they stand for. They were standing for making money and just pushing out products, and basically the whole company was just a sales machine for generating money and not generating value and helping customers. And this is why I decided not to buy. I closed it, and I was just recommending people against that company. And this is where you can actually shine. You can do the opposite of what that company was doing. You can actually create something that people will read and they will say, that is the one, that is why I want to join. I will buy their product because I believe them, I like their story, I like their goals, and I'm just all in. So let's just go on. What to include in your story? I'm talking about, like, just talk about your story, talk about your brand story, about your company story. So I wanted to include a short story template, an about us page story template. So let's say this is a very short template, but I want you to, in case you are thinking about creating about us pages, to go in there, really think about it, and then craft your story, because this is very important when you are actually talking with somebody that doesn't know your company, doesn't know you. So founders, this is where you would talk about yourself or talk about the actual founders in case you are designing a page for somebody else. Started the company, because explain problem in your industry. So you need to actually know the problem, understand the problem, and then talk about that exact same problem. Why did you choose that problem? Why did you actually decide to fix that problem? This is why describe journey to solution. This is why we went out, researched, and found a solution to this exact XYZ problem. And then here we can offer it to you. Along the way, share milestones and wins. Milestones and wins are very important, because every journey has some kind of points. It's not just you started here and then you ended up here and now you are successful. You need to mention to be more personalized, to be more humane, not humane, but human-like, or basically we all make problems. When we go to a journey, it is like this. It is not straight line. So like, we started a company, then the co-founder just decided not to continue, so we went down, and then we find a couple of new employees, and then we didn't make any sales, and then so just share this journey, share the how you got through the problems. It doesn't have to be long. You don't have to write an essay or a book about it, but just introduce yourself, that there was an actual hard work behind everything that you are actually offering now. We want to state your mission going forward. So you know what you are striving for. If you don't, you need to know what your goal is, and then this goal, craft a mission statement about this. Groove wants to be the market leader in marketing software worldwide. This is some kind of a mission statement. I just came out with this from my head just in seconds, but I suggest you to craft your mission statement, because this is where people can actually jump on and join your journey, and then this can actually catch their attention. This is what I want to do. So keep in mind that writing your actual copy in the first person will help build more personal connection with your audience. Your About Us page is about you, so don't shy away from that. So this is about you, about your company, and you are actually using this page to talk with somebody that doesn't know you yet. So let's just imagine that you went to somebody else's home, and then you are introducing yourself. Hi, my name is David, and then I have da 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 da. So this kind of conversation you need to put in your copy, so that people that don't know you actually get to know you and actually get to like and trust you after your text. So the elements you can include in your About Us page design. I just want to go briefly around what can go on About Us page and what should go on About Us page if possible. So your business model, in case you have a business model, it is very good to include it. For example, how you cut out the middleman and pass the savings on to customer, where you source the materials for your products, manufacturing in a specific country, or by providing jobs to certain community, breakdown of the proportion of revenue that goes to a charity, and things like this. So that basically you explain why you're doing this, and then you're not only doing this for profit, you're also doing this to help out and things like this. So people actually want to know this, and yeah, they buy into if there is more value to others and not only to themselves. So there's a lot of companies, for example, I cannot remember now, there is a company that sells shoes, and they decided their business model is buy one, donate one. So when you buy one pair of shoes, another pair is being donated to people that actually need it. So this is an awesome business model, and this needs to be advertised and marketed. So this is something that you need to mention on your About Us pages, that you are not only standing for selling products and making profit, but you are actually having a bigger goal, and your business model is covering that. Press mentions, testimonials, and awards. So in case you're a designer and you won awards for design, just mention them on your About Us page. Just say award-winning company, or a lot of people actually that did courses mention we were on these podcasts, and then we did interviews with these people and things like this. So just these logos you can put in these featured or in a showcase element, and this actually increases a lot of trust for new users when they visit your About Us page. Concrete numbers. We sold that many products. I don't know, a lot of the probably seen a lot of web design or creative companies have 14,000 cups of coffee drank or something like this. It doesn't have to be um, all on a business. You can be also creative with these numbers, but give them some concrete numbers. In case you are talking about your business model that you did donations and then buy one, donate one, you can actually showcase these numbers, how many you sold, how many you donated, and things like this. So it becomes more of a powerful marketing page, this About Us page. It is not only about story and talking about yourself. It actually becomes something that the press, when they visit this, they will have concrete numbers, and they will take this information and then write it on their blogs or use it in the podcast and things like this. This is very important to know for others. In an introduction to your team. So in case you have a team, in case you're not a solopreneur or just working alone, you would probably want to showcase your team, because what you are creating, this goal that you're going for, this is not only you, this is your team members as well. There is designers, there is developers, there is marketing people, there is all kinds of different people that are working on the same goal that you want them to work on. Basically, you created a company, you created the community that you want to work on that exact goal, and then you pulled in some people to work with you to reach that goal. So this is very important, to showcase your team. In case you have a team, I would highly suggest you to put a picture of them. In case you don't, just put a picture of you as well. This is very important. And in my show and tell videos, I talk about why it is actually very important to have some kind of a profile image or some kind of an image of yourself or a picture of yourself on your page to increase trust. Yeah, I don't want to go into depth, but it is very important for people to see who is the actual person behind the business and behind this website. A video or gallery of photos, in case you are working with something creative, like websites or portfolios of, I don't know, illustrations or something like that, or anything else really that you can just put photos about, like screenshots of and mock-ups, in case you're in software industry, in case you are selling some physical products, maybe an exchange between customer and yourself. Just these images are very powerful and liked by people, because they can see that this is a human company working and interacting with other humans. And links and calls to action. As I mentioned, this page itself is not only used for telling stories and then like random texts and copy. You need to actually include links and calls to action. This is a page that could work for you in case you set it up correctly. So in case you can put on your social media accounts, like follow us on Twitter, or like our Facebook page, or join our Facebook group, or maybe opt into your email list, or check out your products, or apply for a job at your company, or read your blog, something like this. You can actually catch their attention in case they read and scroll through everything that you put on there. A call to action is necessary so that you give them something else to do, in case they actually really like you at the end of reading your About Us page. Give them something they can actually click on, they can interact with, so they continue the journey with working with you. Yeah, so I believe this is my last slide. This was just a theory. This was something that you don't have to. In my demo, what I will be showing you today, I used some of these. I used calls to action. I used introduction to the team, some numbers. I didn't use press mentions and testimonials and awards, or videos or galleries of photos. But these are some things that you can choose and pick, in case you have all of these included. In case you don't have, include the ones you have, because they increase basically the power of the About Us page. But that is about the theory. I would like to go in and then show you what we will be working on today. And this is the page we will be working on. As you probably remember, if you were here for the Contact Us page build, we were developing a Contact Us page that looked pretty similar. So I wanted to do the similar style Contact Us page, or sorry, About Us page, similar to the Contact Us page that we did last time, and then just follow the same principles, the same fonts, the same colors, and then even the logos. So what I have here is just a header, and then a bit about founder's message and our mission. This is where you can also talk about the business model. Yeah, so this is something that people will see first when they turn on or come to your page. Then there's a couple of features, why they should work with you. You can talk about why you are different than others. Then here is a section where I mentioned the numbers. As I mentioned previously, numbers and concrete numbers are important. For example, how many clients you have, if you have any reviews that you're working on projects, and then you have successful designs or something like this. But it's very important to showcase these numbers. And then also you can also mention your services. For example, in this case, I'm mentioning my services that they can click and get started, for example, with graphics design, digital marketing, web design, and things like this. So what I created here is just a filler text, templated text that you can jump in there and then work on it. Just to increase the time, just to make the things go faster. When I'm building these pages out, I use these lorem ipsum filler text, so that I don't actually need to think about the copy, because the copy itself, what goes in words on your website, on your pages, this is the most time you need to focus on, because the words are the ones that sell. So here, as you can see, there is a call to action. Let's start working together. Get started, a big yellow bold button that they cannot miss in case they are scanning through the page. Then there is a couple of images about the team, about the founders, or for example, this is the founder, this is the marketing director, there's the lead designer, for example. And then in a footer, don't miss out the footer. The footer is very important. They can actually go through to different sections on your website, to different pages, and they still have the contact information. They can still sign on and subscribe for your newsletters in case you have something it is good to mention, like get our free PDF and learn how to craft the best websites you can, or something like this. Just give them a reason to subscribe. Don't just leave it blank like I did. I would probably fill out this with a very powerful copy on why they should actually subscribe, and then just privacy policy, terms of service, and things like this. Yeah, it's very simple. It looks very clean, and I believe we can do that very quickly. And in the last video, in the contact us page video, I had a couple of issues with making it mobile responsive. Today, I made this site mobile responsive, and it looks pretty cool. We have this menu over here, and everything is actually on the place where it should be. So if it works out in our if it works with us, then we can actually go and dive into getting the pages mobile responsive. So there is a couple of tips and tricks that I want to share when creating this. But for example, you can see when we are scrolling around the page, we have different sections are showing up on different places. Some things we hide on mobile devices, some things we hide on desktop devices, and I just want to go through in case we have enough time how to do that. So that is about the theory and what we will be creating. So I believe it's time for us to jump in and then actually start building out this page. So this is your GrooveFunnels dashboard. When you come and join GrooveFunnels, then this is what you see. This is the first page you come to. If you go here on the left-hand side, GroovePages button, this is the page builder from Groove. We created this page over here. So this is the About Us page. I will just go and create a new site from scratch so that we go through and build out the page together. So there's a couple of people that are very brave and start out with me. For example, Keisha Fox, she likes to actually do it in the same time when I'm doing my pages. So this is where we start. So I would go into blocks, wireframes, and then head over to navigation bars. I want to pull in a navigation bar, which I will use over here. Okay, so this is the one I use because there is a logo. Let me just make it bigger for you guys. We have a logo, we have some links and a button, and this is the one I will use over here. I will just click on it, drag it out on my canvas, and then I can start working with that immediately. However, I will try to actually pull in all the things that I will need until here, so that it is making sense for you so that you can understand what we are actually doing. So the first part was a navigation bar, a navigation block actually. The next one I will use is, we're still in the blocks, wireframes. I will click on empty and click on the empty container over here. Okay, so this is an empty container. Inside here, I will just pull in heading 1. Okay, I can click on this heading. You can see that the text was selected, and I can just click to center it like that. Okay, I will also pop in the text so that we don't have to come back to that later on. So I just double clicked on it, and then I will click at the end. I will click the delete button, because when we paste something, for some reason it just leaves another line. So just delete that line, and then it will be fine. Good. So now we have the navigation bar, we have this About Lemon. Now the next thing we need is this actual block. Let's just analyze it quickly. If you have a look, then you can see that this is one column and this is another column. So the columns are the vertical aligned containers on the page. So there is one container over here, there's another container. So this container only has one image on it, And then this container has some text over here, has some heading, description, heading, description, heading, description. It's very simple to do, and then we can just pull in all these details onto our canvas over here. So as you remember, I said this is a 2-column layout. So when we go to blocks, wireframes, empty, we need 2 columns. So here, as you can see, 1 column, 2 columns. So we click, drag it out, and now we have these containers. As you remember, I mentioned on this one, we just need to put in an image inside, and over here there will be some text, heading, description, heading, description, heading, description. So let's just go and pull in an image on this side. So where are our images? Image is here in the media tab. So the second one, click on the image, pull it inside this here, and we have now our image placeholder. This is basically just a dummy image with this mountain and the sun, so that we can actually see where the image would be placed. So I will just leave it at this, and then over here I will pull in some text. Let's just make it heading 3. Okay, like that. This will be this text. So now we have this part, this part, this part, this part, but this is basically the same element, which we'll be using title and paragraph. As you've seen, this is the heading. What it says heading will be the gray part, and then where we have title goes here, we will just copy over this one. The best place to learn GroovePages, period. And this is what I mean by my videos. I actually watched a couple of other videos on using GroovePages online, and I salute those people for their time and actually investing it. But some of the information they were sharing is not completely true. So this is why I said the best place to learn GroovePages, period. Here we go. So I just did this one so that we can navigate between the heading and then the description. And what we will do is just delete a part of this text over here because we don't need it. And then this part of the text I will also make in pop-ins, and then just make it a bit smaller, like that. 1 rem, 1 point. Yeah, just leave it at 1 rem, and then make it gray color, maybe a bit darker, this gray color. Awesome. So now I can save it as a global style. So what we are actually doing is we can save the styling. So the styling is actual text font, the size, the color. So we can save this as a global style so that we don't need to redo it every time. What I can do is description. This will be our saved style for the description. And then over here, this will be my saved style for the heading. Okay. So I can go to global styles, create new style, and then I can just choose heading. If I could just type while talking, that would be awesome. But anyway, that is it now. So if we go and choose the container that holds both of these, so the heading and the description, we can just come over here to this menu and just click the duplicate. The first icon that you will see here with the duplicate or the copy button. So we can just duplicate it. As you see, this part is the same as this part, and this part is just that the heading, the top text over here, the black one, is actually a bit smaller than the first one. So we will just do that, make it smaller, maybe 1.85. No, let's just do it 1.5. I'm looking at these numbers, 1.5 rem, and then we can also choose it one more time and duplicate it one more time. When we click out, click back in, then the actual style is applied back to it. So now we have this one, we have this one, this one, and this one. We have also the image. And now I said we will stop here and let's just develop everything that we have on this page. So we will start from the top. So now we pulled in all the things that we will need to style, and then we will now style it. So as you remember, our header is, or the actual navigation bar over here is yellow on my example, which I showed you. So we will go and choose the block. The block is the back section of the whole element over here. We go to the background of the block and choose the color yellow. Okay, so now we can also click on the container over here and see that there is a background color applied. We'll also choose the same yellow. And then over here, you can see this home also has their own background color. So this is the nav menu. The nav menu has also a background color, which is this grayish white color. We'll just pop it in to be the same yellow as we have our other container and block. So that's now done. I can just modify immediately the styling of this text. So in the past video where I was creating the actual content or contact us page, I decided I will be using Poppins. Poppins is the font I really like. It looks awesome wherever you use it, and I just wanted to continue with the same styling. So 1.25 will be my header. I will use bold, and yeah, basically that is done. So now, as you can see, when we have the nav menu chosen, it says here nav menu, we have a configure button. This configure button is used to add on extra pages. So we can choose pages to exclude. At this moment, I only have one page on my site. If you would have multiple, all of them would show up here. However, I only work on the home page, which is this page that you see now. This is why I only have the home displayed over here. However, I don't need to create extra pages over here. I can just create extra links. Let me just create 3 extra links. So we will call them Google 1 and Google 2, Google 3. You can just rename this. For example, contact page, about us page, home page, whatever you like. I will just leave them Google so that we can continue quickly with the work. So I update it. It doesn't show up here. This will be changed with an update that is coming in a couple of days. However, we just need to save it, wait for this green box to show up, and now reload our page builder. There's a couple of things that are still not working 100%, but our developers know about it and then are pushing out updates and basically upgrades to the system so that these bugs don't happen anymore. But as you can see now, when we refresh the builder, we can see home, Google 1, Google 2, and Google 3. So these are the extra links that we set up. So now I can go in and pop in my logo. In the last video, I showed you how to create the logo. In case you didn't see it, I highly suggest you to watch it. We created this logo together, but I will be using just this one. No particular reason, it's just that I like this slice of melon better than the whole melon. Okay, perfect. That is it now. And the last thing I want to modify is the button. So when you click on the button, most probably the configure tab will open up around here. And then this is where you type in text that you want to appear inside the button. So here I want to show the contact us. Contact us. Okay, with a space, of course. And then I click update, and now immediately it updated, and we can see contact us instead of button typed in the button itself. So in the design, I can go and actually change the text to be the same Poppins font. I want it to be 1.125. I will not pop it up to 1.25 font to be the same as these ones, because I believe this will be showing up too big on some of the other devices, and I believe this one is completely okay. So what I will do is actually change the color. This is the black type of color. Okay, this is not what I wanted to do. This is the text is chosen now. No, actually, this is exactly what I wanted to do. Sorry about that, guys. So the text is changed to this dark color, and then the background we will change to this yellow that we are using. Okay, here we go. And now to differentiate where what basically the borders. I want to add on borders like over here. We can add on a nice border around the button so that it is actually showing that this is a something that we want people to click. So I have the button selected, as you can see. I will go into the borders, choose the border around the whole thing, and then make it 1 pixel, and then choose the same black color that I'm using. And now if I click out, you can see that it is actually showing up. However, my button over here has a bigger border and a thicker border than what I set up here, so I can just go back to the button itself, click on borders, click on this button again, and change it to 2 pixels. Now it is looking pretty cool. We still need to space it out a bit. When we click the button and come to spacing, we can see that there is some spacing applied over here. So I can work with that. So I want the top basically the padding. The padding is inside. So from the text onwards, I want the padding to be 0.75. And then on the sides, I can increase it a bit as well, 2.5. I believe this is looking good, and we are finished with the first part. Let's just save it. Okay, so this is done. Let's just go on to the next block, which is only having one piece of text, and this is the saying about lemon. So I want the background of the block to be yellow, the same yellow I am using on the top part. And then the text, of course, as you remembered, I want to pop into pop-ins, but I already have a style saved, so I don't need to do anything about that, just to increase the text size. Maybe 3. Yeah, let's leave it at 3 rem. That's basically it. So now I can just add some spacing be, uh, between the white part and then the text. I can add on some spacing, as you can see below the text, this yellow part. And the way I do it is choosing the whole block, going to spacing, and adding some padding. Adding padding, for example, I can add on 3 rem of padding below the about lemon section, and now it is looking pretty cool. So the first part is done. We did the header. This is the yellow part, the yellow section, and we finish with this. So let's just go on to the next part. We want this to say about and to have this kind of gray outline, or actually highlight behind it. So let's just type in here about. So, as you remember, we need to change it to be pop-ins, like that. I want it to be normal. Okay, I clicked out for some reason. There we go. I want it to be normal. I want it to be pop-ins. For some reason it is not showing up. There we go. And then 1.125 rem to be the size. No particular reason, is just because it is looking good in my opinion. So I can just decide a color of the text, maybe a bit darker, like that. And then the background section of this text we can choose as well. So I want this button or this text to have some sort of a light gray background. I just use this one over here. And as you can see now, as my text is full width in this container, it is showing the gray background on the whole part. So we can manage that. We can click on the text. As you can see, text -_2. We can go into sizing, choose the width, and then choose relative to the parent, and immediately you can see that it popped back. It is not as big anymore. So as you're increasing this relative to the parent, you can see that it is changing. However, let's just see what the relative to the page does. Okay, I believe the relative to the page is better than what we for what we needed. So I can just leave relative to the page 4 rem. And then using spacing, I can just space it out so that around the text itself, the gray part is growing. Let me just show you. So if you watch carefully over here where it says about, when I increase this one, you can see that the parts, the gray parts are moving. This is also pushing our text inside, but we can just work with this one and then manage that without any issues. So we can just place it in the middle, and now it will be looking good. So first it was like this, I placed it in the middle, and now it is in the middle of the whole section. However, I don't want it to be so tall. I will go back into spacing and then make sure that the top and the bottom of the padding is a bit smaller, like that. I like how this looks, so I will just leave it at that. Perfect. So now we have already the heading and the description over here set up, so we don't need to do anything else there, only space things out. So I want this, so both of these, so the header and the description, to have some space between this section and then the about text. I'll just leave it at 2 rem. Okay, then I can do it with the same with this part. I can just space it from the top and then also do 2 rem, and then over here as well, spacing margin 2 rem. There we go. So that is now set up. The last thing we are missing is to actually fill in this founder message text, which is coming over here. And as you can see now, when I pasted in something, there is a space. So I just click the backspace button and then it is deleted. So now I'm happy with the founder's message. Let's just choose the our mission part and then paste it in here. Perfect. I delete the space below and then we are good to go. However, there is some spacing also between the heading and the description, and then as well here and then here as well. So let's just make that a bit spaced out. So I will click on the bottom part and then make some spacing on the top using the margin. I just want to space it out by 1 rem. So I'll also space this out by 1 rem, and then this one as well. Okay, here we go. So this part is done. Actually, we just need to pop in an image over here, which we do by clicking on this placeholder image, choosing configure, choose image, and then we can choose the image that we want. On my demo, I was using this image, which was just a normal image, and using it was basically a horizontal image, and using the inbuilt tools, I cropped it out. I just did this one and then on the other side, and I cropped out the part so that it looks more of a vertical image. Okay, and this is how I got it. Then I just select it, click update, and now we have our image inside, which is looking pretty cool already. The last part is I need to add on some spacing, as you can see here on the top and then on the bottom, so that the next part, when we add on this next section, it will be nicely spaced out. So what I do is choose the whole block. So I just clicked outside over here, and now my block is selected, as you can see over here, and I can add on some inside padding on the top and bottom. This is actually spacing everything out. Let's just put 5 rem just to be on the safe side. And I want to actually get the effect of, yeah, I just want to push this about section down a little bit so that it is giving me the effect that it is a bit lower than the image itself. So what I do is do this 4.5 rem. That's fine. So my image is the big one, and then next to the image I have this text, which is in the line of these people's faces, so I can just read it nicely. So that is done. As you saw, we just quickly created this header or navigation part and then the first block. It is not very complicated. It's just pulling in elements and then just spacing them out, sizing them correctly, and just putting the styling of the text, fonts, colors, and basically we are finished with this part. The next part is very similar to the first part. So what I will do is I will just go in, choose the layout 2x2. This is actually where the two columns are visible, and I will click duplicate. As you can see, now we duplicated the same exact thing, and what I want my image to be on this side. There we go. And then everything else to come on the other side. So I want to pull this over like that. And then these parts I don't need actually, because this lower part image on the left hand side has this kind of a gray um, explanation of what the part is. This is about features. So this one is done, this one is done, but here I just need this kind of some icons and some text. Actually, I wanted to give you a nice little detour of this boring dragging and dropping and show you how you can create these awesome blobs and how you can make your own icons and make your own illustrations. So this is coming now. I will just first pull in the image list item, what I need for this section. And then also delete this part because I don't need it. And then this part because I don't need it as well. There we go. Actually, I can just delete the whole section over here. I didn't do it correctly, of course. There we go. And then this image needs to come into this container. There we go. So now it is done correctly. I pulled in the image, but I didn't put it in the container. It was on this container just below it. So I wanted to just click on it back again and then pull it in the container. Now, as you can see, this is spaced or placed on the top where my image is. That is good. Over here, I have some spacing on the top, which I will delete because I don't need it. There we go. And now I will space this container, so layout 2x2. So these are the two containers selected at the same time. I will space them out from the top columns over here. So I will choose the margin and then push everything down a bit. Let's just say 6 rem. This is giving us enough space to work with. So what we want here is image list items. And this is where you go into the elements, you scroll down until the list section, and then you pull in an image list item just below this one. And why an image and why not an icon? There is also an element called icon list item. You can also use this one in case you just want to go with a simple check mark, for example. You can just type in check, and you can use one of these check marks. However, I wanted to create something cool, something that I didn't show you guys yet, and I wanted to show you how we can create this part. And this is actually an awesome thing. So in case you wanted to learn something creative today, I will be showing you something creative. So let me just show you my face back again and then explain. So these kinds of things are called blobs, and it is awesome because some very smart person created a blob maker. So in case you just Google blob maker, and there is a blobmaker.app, it actually gives you these types of blobs which you can just create your own sections, or how to make it rounded, or different parts of these blobs. You can put in your own color over here. You can choose from these pre-made colors, or you can just put in the hex code of your own color. And of course, I will do that. So I will just go into this part where I set the background color and then just choose the hex code of my color from this background, because this is what I want to use for my blob. Okay, there we go. This is now my blob color, and I am happy with that. I believe it took it in. Yes, FFCC. So this is my blob color, and I can choose how I want it to look like. You can also click this button over here to generate random blobs. So let's just go with one that is more of a horizontal. Let's just take this one. It doesn't look any special, but I just, yeah, I made it different. Yeah, let's just go with this one. It looks cool. So now what you do is when you go in this blob maker, you can download it from over here. This will actually take an SVG document. Okay, perfect. Christine Case already shared out the tool, blobmaker.app. Thank you very much. So this will be our, let's just call it yellow blob. Okay, yellow blob. This is now saved to our device. So now what we want is go to Photo P. I use Photo P a lot when I'm working with these kinds of designs, because it is like a free Photoshop. You don't actually have to pay for anything. You can start immediately. So just type in Photo P, type Photo P. This is the name of it, Photo P, and you can start a new project from here. You can choose a pre-made ones, for example, phone, print, screen. You can do a lot of things with this one. I'll just go with this VGA, no particular reason. Here we go. So this is the size I want to work with, and now I pull in my yellow blob on this canvas over here. And as you can see, when I pulled it in, the yellow blob came below my background. So let me just drag it up. So the background is in the bottom and the yellow blob is on it. So now I can see it over here on the screen. So I will resize it. I will click Shift and then drag it out so it doesn't lose the styling. If I don't press Shift, look what happens. You can actually resize it like this. But when you press Shift and you resize it, then it doesn't actually lose the spacing and the look. Like that. Let's just place it in the center and then press Enter. Now our yellow blob is on our canvas. Jim is saying, you're an incredible wealth of information. So appreciated, my friend. No problem. This is why I'm here. So if you have a look at this one, this is our blob, the yellow one, but we still need this check mark. So this check mark can be downloaded from sites like Flat Icon. This is what I usually use for everything that I use icons for. Just type in check. And you have loads of these check marks that you can use. I use just a basic one, and let me just see. I believe this is the one that I used, so let's just go with this one. However, I want to use the same colors that I use on my site. So I will go click Edit icon. In case you are not logged in yet, you would need to log in. I use just the Google or Facebook accounts to log in. You just click Facebook, it logs you in, and you're ready to go. But I use a special type of a font color, and this is 0F1824. Let me just copy this over. It is black, but it's actually not fully black. It's almost black. I want to use that color over here, and then I click out, and then this actually got this color, 0F1824, whatever. So I can download it, and I will download it as an SVG again. So our yellow blob was an SVG, as you can see over here. SVG is just a vector file. You can resize it and do all kinds of things with it. It will not be pixelated. This is why I use SVG when I'm doing these small icons, because I can push them really, really, really tiny, and then they will not lose any styling. They will not be pixelated. So into our photo P, just pull in our check. As you can see, it is also coming below our background. Now I have it here. It is now coming below my yellow blob. So I will pull it up. And now, as you can see, my check mark is here visible. You can resize it. Just remember to use the shift when you are doing it. Then you can actually keep the styling of it and you will not lose it. And then let's just place it somewhere around here. It looks good. It looks great. Let's just press enter. And now our blob is ready to be exported. So the last thing I need to do is just click over here to this little lock that was here, and I'll click on the background and delete. And the reason I do this to make the actual icon transparent. So in case you have a black background or like darker background, the blob will be visible and it will not have the white box around it. Okay, so you need to delete the background image. Background color. Now I want to crop it out. I want this to be cropped out so that I can only use the blob and the check mark itself, and not all this space that I don't need. So I click on this icon. It looks like a fish, or basically two brackets that are coming like that. It is a crop tool. So you can just select the part of the image that you need, like that. There we go. And you can also work with it once you release the mouse cursor, then you can work with it like that. And let's just really dive in and then just get to part that we need. So once you're finished, simple click enter. Ta-da! You're done. You can now go into File, Export as PNG. You need to export it as PNG because then it will actually have this transparency. Let me just show you what happens when you choose a JPEG. As you see, this turned over to a white background, so it will be imported as an image. So when you paste it on something, it will have the white box around it. So when you are saving it as PNG, it will have transparency behind it. Good. Click save. You save it somewhere on your computer. Yellow blob. Not everybody will be using this, but I wanted just to show you just a little creativity inside with some extra tools. So yeah, Blob Maker, it is amazing. You can do all kinds of stuff. And not just this one, you can actually do illustrations with these. If you remember the last time when we were building our page, we used an illustration. I showed you a site where you can get free illustrations. You can get this blob and put in your illustration in it, so you basically create something awesome, something more more unique. For example, when you go into this SAS illustration, a lot of them will be having something like that. A lot of these images have some kind of blobs or something in the background. Let me just find one just to prove a point. You've probably seen them as well. For example, like that. As you can see over here, this type of clouds, this is a kind of a blob that you can create now with the tool that I showed you. Yeah, not a lot of images over here on these blobs, but now you understand what I mean. Good. Let me just go back and then turn off this photopea and everything, and let's just go in and continue developing our page. Now that we have our yellow blob, this check mark, we can come over here with this is an image list item. The icon list item we can delete. So I chose the whole one to be selected. It needs to say list icon, and then I can delete this part. I don't need it. But over here, we have an image and then here some text. So I chose this image. We can click configure and then choose, or actually upload, our blob. So yellow blob, you are going to be uploaded. There we go. Click upload. And bada bim, bada boom, we have it. 506 pixels in width is a bit too big for a small icon, so I'll just resize it to be like 100. That is more than enough. It is actually too big still, but I will just leave it like that. When I typed in 100, update dimensions, and then our content is saved, I click in, click out, and now it actually shows that it is 100, and then I can just click update. Perfect. So as you can see, some parts of this blob are actually cut off. Let me just zoom in. You can see here it is not showing up, and here it is not showing up completely. So what I will do is I will click on this image, go to design, and in the sizing, I will actually set the height up to auto, and then this one to not auto, but relative to the parent. Sorry, not relative to the parent, relative to the page. We can now decide what size we want this blob to be, and I believe this is looking great, and I will just leave it at that. So now we have our blob with the check mark, and over here we can just put in some filler text. Lorem ipsum, here you come. Let's just choose this lorem ipsum dollar sit amet, and this will be pasted in here. So now I have my text inside. I just need to choose the pop-ins. I need to choose color that I want to use, and basically we're done. So we can space it out a bit from the rest of the text. So I selected both of these. This is the list image, as you can see, element, which is selecting the blob what we created and also the text together. And now using the spacing and margin on the top, I just space it out from the rest of the text that is up here. I believe if we space it out by 2.5 rem, then that is fine. Awesome. So now we have this blob. We'll just duplicate it 2 more times. So we have the whole image list item. Let's just duplicate it. And as you can see, it also has applied the 2.5 spacing. I just want 1.5, so that is fine. We can just duplicate this one. And now we have 3 image list items that are looking custom made and looking great. Perfect. I am very happy with this one. Now we can just pop in our image. We can lower this a bit, paste in features. So instead of about, here we will put in features. Here we go. As you can see, now we still need to resize this part because it is custom sized to a device and to space over here. And we'll just remove the spacing. Let's just see why it increased and it is not in the middle. Okay, this is strange. I just see the sizing. You see it is giving us a bit of a spacing on the bottom. I'm not quite sure why. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Let's just see, this one is fine. 25 rem. Let's just leave it for now and then we'll duplicate it again from here. I believe something just broke when I just typed in the feature. Ah, no. Guys, we pasted something in, we didn't delete it. Brains. Yes, there we go. So now we can just put back the spacing. 0.25 was the spacing, and there we go. Now, I forgot, when you paste something, there is this small issue that it actually puts a space below it. So, awesome. So that is now done. Let's just space it out. So let's just push this down a bit so that it is somehow 3.5. That is looking good. And now we can just paste or actually choose another image. So actually Karen is saying, is this because the return button has created the spacing at the bottom? So the pasting in of the text has created another space below it. So for example, when you press the enter on your keyboard, this is what happened. When you paste in something, this happens for some reason. Nobody knows why. Our developers are fixing this issue. It will not happen. In case you're watching the replay and a lot of time have passed from August 10th, then you probably don't have this issue anymore and you are a happy person. But yes, for us that are watching this live, we can just come and configure this image. I want to choose a different one and I will just use the one that is in the other demo. So this is just a similar image from a team. This guy is not having fun. He's looking at his watch. But yeah, it's just a theme image that I found inside the image library, and we'll be using this one for this example. Okay, so we updated it. I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, let's just continue on. Let's save it and continue. Tina is saying what the issue could be in probably in HTML. It just says a break by mistake. I believe this is correct, but it needs to be fixed so that the editor is not doing this anymore when we paste in some text. Awesome. So now we have done the first section and the second section. The next thing we will be working on is getting this yellow line with 4 columns and some numbers and some icons, which is very easy to do, and I will show you how quickly we can just do it. So below this part, as you remember, we want to put in an empty container, or this empty block, which says over here that it's an empty container. There we go. We will go to the block section at the bottom, make it yellow. There we go. And now in the elements, we just choose columns. Bam, 4 columns. In each of the columns, we will have basically some description, and we will have an icon and some heading. And the reason why we need to put first the text and then the rest is because this will be going in a separate container. Let me demonstrate. I will do one because I will do one just to show you how not to do it, and then I will do one just to show you how to do it. Okay, so as I said, we need to put a separate container so that we can put these items next to each other. So this is a heading and this is an icon. We need to put it in a separate container and make it inline flex. This is done using the layout options. When you click on something in the layout, you can see different options like flex, inline flex, table, blah, blah, blah. What we need to do is, let me show you my face over here. So what we need to do is put it inline flex. What this does is when you are adding things on the page, they will be adding on like this. But when you set it up to be inline flex, then it will be adding on next to each other. So here will be our heading, here will be our description, or basically the icon in this part. So this is why we need to set it up in a separate container so that not everything that we pull in will be put in a horizontal line. So description, an icon, and the numbers, but just the numbers and the icon will be on the top in the separate container, and then on the bottom one it will be a description. So let me just show you what actually happens when we pull everything inside this one container. I just want to do a quick demo just to break some stuff, and then we can continue on. So I want actually the heading will be used to display numbers. So 1 2 3 can be our numbers. Exited. Here we go. Come on, 1 2 3. Here we go. This is our number. As you can see, it is now full length of the canvas or the container. Now I want to add on an icon, which is somewhere in the media section. Here we go. It is adding on top of each other, as I explained it earlier, but we want it next to each other. So this is where we actually set up the layout to be inline flex. There we go. And also on our numbers, layout inline flex. Okay. And then the container as well, layout inline flex. And now, as you can see from the icon that was here, it just popped up. But if we add on something else, it will be adding on next to each other. So this, I don't want to do it. So what I will do is I will undo everything over here and then add on a paragraph first, because the paragraph will be staying put and we will not need to modify it so that it is in the line with something else. And then on here, we come to elements and just pull in an empty container. So now we have this part is at the bottom, as you can see over here. This will be on the bottom. Let's just make it in the center. And then the empty container will be set up as the inline flex container. So in here, when we put in, the heading for our text and then icon itself, which is over here, then it is immediately coming next to each other, and then we can set this up. If we set up the container, so I chose the container on the top, make it vertically centered in the middle, bam. Okay, it didn't actually do what I wanted to, but what we can do is layout and then just center it in the middle. So instead of clicking vertical, just center it and then middle it here in the secondary, then it will be keeping the next to each other positions. Good. So heading needs to be a number like 1 2 3. Okay. and I already have a global style of a heading, I can apply to it and maybe make the numbers a bit bigger. And then over here, I want to choose some kind of an icon. So I will not be going super in depth. I'll just choose anything that I can see that it is working for this, and this is going to be this kind of a 6-pack. I don't know what this is for, but I believe it will be looking cool. So now we have a number, we have this 6-pack for some reason over here, and then I can just space it out using the margins. There we go. But I want the icon to be a bit bigger, so I will come into the text. We still have the icon chosen. I will come into the text and make it a bit bigger, like that. There we go. So now this is done. The description will be saying successful designs, like that. Paste. Okay. And then we just choose the global styles for a heading, like that. And I don't want it to be, so it is pop-ins, and I don't want it to be bold. I want it to be normal, and then just a smaller size, something like that. There we go. Great. So now this is what we wanted to do, and we got it. So what we can do is just duplicate this container that is holding the both of the text and the icon inside. We pull it over here. We duplicate the successful designs. We pull it over here. And then we have actually done what we wanted a bit quicker. So over here, it will be saying ongoing projects. Let's just put 49. Change the icon to some type of a gear. Or process. Let's just leave this. Okay, update. There we go. And this will be ongoing projects. And then we just duplicate the container again. We pull it up here, duplicate the text, pull it up here. There we go. Then we do it one more time, up here, and then this one as well, and then position it here. There we go. That is all the knowledge we needed to do. So we can just now change the numbers over here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, sorry, 7, 8, 9. I cannot count. Doesn't matter. Positive reviews is coming over here. So we can change the icon to a star. This star, okay. And then over here, we can just put in happy clients. Happy clients. And then the icon will be users. User, maybe this one with the big shoulders. There we go. Happy clients. Awesome. So this was basically the whole thing that we needed to know about this yellow section. The next part is space it out. So as you see here, we have some spacing from the top, we have some spacing from the bottom, and this is what I want to do using the inside padding. For example, to REM, and now I added on some spacing up here, some spacing down here, and then that is basically it. Perfect. The next part is a container that has some text, and basically we'll just copy this one over here, and then has 3 containers. So let's just build this one out. So this is wireframes, empty container. We'll just pop it in here. There we go. Then I want to copy over this part Okay, you're coming with me here to the bottom. And then I want to copy this part. Thank you. You come with me. Thank you very much. There we go. So now I position this one. Let me just add on a bit of spacing to the bottom so that you can actually see what I'm working on a bit more. Here we go. So now this is my container over here, and I want to put layout vertical center. So now this features thingy will be popping in the middle of it. For the text, I want to center it using the text centering options here on the sidebar. And now we have basically done this part. However, we need to set this up to be, we help businesses grow with our awesome services. So we copied over this text, paste it in. And as you can see, it is a bit too wide. So while I still have the text chosen, I can go into sizing and then set it up to be, for example, 40. Okay, and then it is not centering it for some reason. So what I can do is maybe apply some spacing in the from the sides so that it is spacing it towards the middle. Yeah, I can do this one. We help businesses grow our awesome services. Grow with our awesome services. Perfect. Then this one as well, it is a bit too wide. Let's just try using the spacing. Sorry, using the sizing. Okay, it is again spacing it on the left hand side for some reason. This is a bug that will probably need to be reported. I will work on that one. However, we can do it with this. There we go. So now we have a nice and small text that is lined up below each other. The next part we need to do is add on these 3 boxes, and the way we do it is by using the elements 3 columns. We'll just pull it here below our description text, and then we can click to this layout 3 by 3. So you click somewhere in the middle where you don't have these checked boxes, and then you click spacing and move it away from the description text on the top. There we go. So this is the most time-consuming thing that we will be doing today, and we need to work with it as very similarly as when we worked with these containers. So the first thing we need to pull in is these things, so the description and the button, and then we add on another column, or basically another container with 2 columns. So this is what we need to work with. So the first thing is description, which maybe we can duplicate from up here. Let's just duplicate this one. You're coming over here. Thank you very much. The next thing is a button, a solid button. Thank you very much. You are very nice. There we go. And the button we can style some similar to this one. This successful designs, I will add on some Lorem Ipsum text. Come on, here we go. Copy, paste. There we go. And we can add the global style of the description. Let's try one more time. Because it already had a global style applied to it, we cannot change it. So let's just make it a bit smaller. That's fine, 1.25. Good. And now the button, we want the background to be white, like that. We want the text to be dark, this black that we are using. And for the font to be Poppins, I want it to say get started. Okay, update, and then some borders around it. Around the whole thing, we can add on some 1 pixel borders. in the same color as our text. There we go. So now it is looking pretty nice. Maybe some top and bottom spacing like that. And then on the side as well, 1.5. It's looking good. Awesome. So now we have the description, we have the button. We just need to pull in a 2-column layout over here. And this is because here we will have this graphic design and we will have a divider over here, and we will have an icon on the other side. So we can just pull in the icon on this side, and then over here we can just pull in some, where is text over here? Let's just say heading 3, like that. Give it the text graphic design, like that. As you can see, immediately there is a space below it. We can apply a global style to it, which is our heading. Perfect. And at the bottom of it, we can add on some border just to the bottom, like that. The width to be 2 pixels and to be our yellow color. Great, there we go. So now we have done this exactly. We can just move it a bit away from the text itself, like 0.5 rem maybe, and then this one a bit smaller to be 1875. That's looking good. Great. Now to set up the icon, we can configure the icon. Let's just choose a random, this one. Okay, and I want it to be our yellow color. Bam, there we go. And using the text, I can resize the icon as big as I want it, and I want it to be 4.5. Okay, but I want it to be on this side, and the way I do it is by using container spacing this way. There we go. So now this is the whole knowledge. This is the most complicated thing that we will be working on today. We can just space out this container from top and bottom, left and right, like that. And then we turn off the left and right. We add on some top and bottom like that. And then we can space these things out in the inside. So add on some more 1 rem spacing on the text, 1 rem spacing on the button itself. And then the last thing we need to do is add shadow. Bam, it is looking great. I believe this is looking awesome. If I would see something like this on the page, I would be very happy with it. Great. So the next ones, we can just follow the same thing. I can save the style of the whole container. So I can create a new style container like that. I can immediately apply it over here, which is global styles container. As you can see, immediately it applies it. So I duplicate this one, pull it in here, duplicate the button, pull it in here, and then we need to add on the 2-column. But let's just try to copy it. I believe it will not work. Let's just give it a go. So duplicate. Yeah, it is actually not working. It's just taking the icon for some reason, but it doesn't matter. We can just simply recreate the 2 columns like that, and then duplicate only the text inside. Here we go. And duplicate the icon. And come on, here we go. So now we had basically the exact copy of it. Now we just add on the digital marketing. And on here, I want to position this container to be on this side. We paste in here digital marketing. As you can see, we need to space it out a bit. So we can click on the container itself, sizing, and I can choose relative to the page and size it as I want it. Digital marketing. Here we go. Okay, for some reason it is applying another border below it. There we go. Great. So we can choose the different icon. We can just, what do we have here? Okay, so this kind of a, okay, 4.5. Great. Now the last one, we need to just apply the global style of the container. Duplicate this one. Duplicate this one. There we go. Add on the 2-column layout. Duplicate the text. Okay, here, duplicate the icon. Put it in. Set up the container to be showing things on the left, on the right hand side, and instead of digital marketing we wanted to say web design. Okay, let's just paste that in, and then let's just delete the space given by this bug, and then for the web design we can just let's just use these hands for no particular reason, I just like them. Okay, and then in the text we can just resize it back to 4.5. Here we go. So now we have this section done as well. We just need to space it out on the top, space it out on the bottom. We actually have spaced it out on the bottom, but we just need to make it look nicer. There we go. And then I add on some padding 5 REM. It is looking nice. Good. Great. So Leonard is saying it's looking great. Eric is saying awesome job on the tutorial, David. So yeah, guys, I do hope you are following with in case you are working on something like that. I believe this can be done pretty quickly. If I wouldn't be talking, I would probably be already finished and then on the resizing for different devices, but we just have a couple of, so 2 more blocks, so this one and then this one, and then the footer we can just import from the previous build. I will be sharing the links with you again, and just to make it a bit quicker for us. Good. Let me just, yeah, I'm trying to kill a mosquito over here, but let's just continue with the build. So the next thing we are building out is this section. It is very simple. It is consisting of a block with some text, description, and a button on it. You can also pull in a block that is not this one, but is maybe this one. You can play with that. Let's just use it. I'd use the normal empty block in my case, but you can use this one as well. Set up the background of the block to be an image, and our image will be this one over here with these 2 guys sitting on a next to a computer working. We choose it, and then we add on some color overlay, black, and then we choose this. There we go. Then the next part, what we want to do is add on some text, which we can use this text and this text. Let's just duplicate them. Actually, it is not giving us the option to duplicate this one, so we'll take something from up here. There we go. This one. Let's pull it down, down, boom. Perfect. Here we go. And I want it to be white. This one as well. Thank you very much. And it will be saying, let's start working together. Here we go. Let's start working together. And this text will be probably a filler text, lorem ipsum. Okay. I don't need this part. Great. So I will also space it out just so that we can see what we are working with. Add on some margins on the bottom, and then space this thing out in the middle so that we have some more image revealed like that. Great. So I believe this is looking awesome. What I want to do is I want to put over here a button. I can just duplicate this button and just change some colors around. There we go. And why do we have okay, so I'm looking at why do we have this text so low and why do we have this button so high. So this is what I was trying to figure out, but there is no spacing applied anywhere, but doesn't matter. We can try to set up the container to be in the middle. Maybe there is something applied over here. Yeah, there is nothing, but doesn't matter. This is why I like to work with the empty containers, then it is not giving me any problems. I believe I found it. Here we go. So this container had two orient, but now we have it figured out and I am happy with the solution. So I chose this container and I will make this button be in the center over here and increase the text. Get started, make it dark, and then the background is yellow, which is great. Already set up. The background will be yellow because this is my call to action, and I want to also space it out so that it's a bit wider. So 2.5, and then on the top and bottom, maybe we can work with 1 orient. Awesome. That's it. Very simple. So now the bottom section is very similar to what we created over here. As you can see, this is just exact copy. I didn't even change anything except here the services and here theme. So I believe I forgot to copy these services over, put it instead of features, services, delete the space below it. Perfect, David. Very good job. Okay. Great. So we can just duplicate this one and pull it down. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I didn't do it correctly because I don't have a block behind it. I need an empty block, which I will pull inside here. And now we can duplicate it, or actually pull it down. There we go. And then also I will duplicate this part and pull that down as well. Come on. Why are you not showing up? Let me just see if I need a container somewhere. This is strange. I cannot copy it over for some reason. Not sure why. Okay. She's asking who, Keisha is asking who's the angry person. I'm not quite sure who are you talking about. Somebody must have pressed the angry emoticon. It's okay, no problemo. Perfect. So, but let's just leave it at this one. I will not be using this layout 3x3, so I don't need it. But I will use a pre-made block of theme, we already have the theme for what we need. Basically this section, we already have pre-made blocks for that. So you can just come over here to the blocks, select the theme option, and then you can choose from the parts you have from the blocks. You already have these created here. I will use this one because I really like how it looks, and it is very simple, and I like simple. So I will just put this to white. I will delete this art theme text because I don't need it. And then over here inside, we can just put in the background image. And I already had some lovely people chosen. Basically, I went into the free stock photos and I typed in businessman, and then I was selecting between the images that I see here. As you can see, this is the guy that I will set up as my CEO. So I went in there, I imported the image, I clicked on this button and just made it a bit smaller like that. Perfect. Confirm, and then upload. Once it uploads, it says content saved, and now I can just use this image. Here we go. I can position it to be in the center, and then this John Doe is not visible, but once I set up the background image of background color of this container over here, it is bam visible. And then I can just set up my global style of the heading, global style of the description. Bada bim, bada boom, we have it done, guys. So it's very simple. So I choose the whole container, place the background image of the next person, which will be this lovely lady, and I will use her as the marketing manager. Select, choose this John Doe marketing director container over here, put the background to yellow, and she will be Jane Doe. Very creative, David. Thank you very much. And then set up my heading, set up my description global style. There we go. I'll change this one to be CEO. CEO slash marketing, not market, CEO founder. And text probably a bit darker. There we go. This one, marketing director, is fine. And then the last one, background, not color but image. Let's just set up this guy over here, a very handsome guy. We will just choose the background section, basically this container over here, background, and then set it up as yellow. John Doe will be getting a style for the heading, and then this marketing director will be getting the style for the description. When we click out, click back in, the color will be changed. We'll just pop it back to a darker one, and then we'll just say lead designer. Okay, good. So I'm finished with this one. I'm just missing for some reason that upper part, this services. So let's just give it one more go and try to position it somewhere inside here. It is coming for some reason here. I want it on the top. Come on. Maybe I can position everything over here below it. No. No. Yeah, that's not how you do web design. But I'm really not sure why this is happening. Why is it not allowing me to move it away? Maybe if we select the container itself and add on some spacing like that, maybe then. Let's give it a go. No. So I'm finished with this. Let's just give it another container. Let's pull that in the container, and then let's pull basically these parts in the container, but I believe this is already a separate container, so this is why it is not letting us do it. So I do understand it now. It is the heading and the description element itself. This is the title and a paragraph element. It has its own container, and then we cannot add on something else inside there. So maybe we can work with a separate block, or we can just delete it. And then inside here, we actually add on this one first. And we go into the layout of the container, set it up to be in the middle, and then try to do it one more time. Duplicate, copy. Let's see if it works this time. Okay, so this is set up, this container is set up to be inline flex. Let's just fix that. Actually, not inline flex, just flex. Perfect. Let's just put it here, there, bam. And we can apply some spacing on it. Maybe like that, make it bigger. And this text may be bigger as well. So I really like sometimes when these problems happen, because then you can see how I fix it myself. Sometimes when you get in problems, you get nervous, and then you immediately start crying out for help in the Facebook group and in the customer service, and waiting a long time for actually an answer. So sometimes you just need to play around, delete some things, and then start from the beginning. But now I am happy with what I have. So now this is done. This lower section I already created in a previous video when we were doing the contact section, so I will not be redoing it. I will be just using pre-made, basically the contact section, and I will just go here to the back, and I'll just use it from the previous one that I built earlier. And also for everybody that is staying on until now, and thank you very much, guys, in case you are, I will be giving both of these templates, basically the contact us page, which I created last time, and the about us page. So you can just take these pages and then maybe one day put them all to good use, put them all together to a nice website. So I go into the block section over here, and then clicking the star, you can actually save it somewhere. So I will save it in no category. Okay, save. And now when we save this block, we can actually use it on a different site. As you can see, this was a site I was working on previously, and this is the site we are working on together now. So when I go inside there and scroll to the bottom, we can go into blocks, all blocks, and then as you can see, I have quite a lot, but we want this block for our footer. We just pull it inside here, and then bada bing bada boom, we have finished. So save, and let's just have a look at it. It looks great in my opinion. We build it out together. Some texts need to be changed, but I will not be focusing on that one. I wanted to finish it quicker so that we can go in and do the mobile responsiveness. Yes, there's a couple of questions, guys. I will be coming to your questions in a moment. I just want you to see how I would go and actually make the site mobile responsive. As you see, when we are working with our page over here, it is nicely styled, and I will be giving this template to you, no worries. I want to do the same thing with the one that I have now, but let's just have a look how it looks like actually before I did any changes on it. So now, as you can see here, this part is looking good. Maybe need some spacing on the sides on a laptop device. but the rest is looking pretty okay. This one as well. This needs to be separated a bit. That one is okay. This one probably needs a bit of less padding in there, but the rest is fine. Let's just go on a tablet view. As you can see, the headers are looking a bit strange now. This part is okay. Maybe the image needs to come a bit lower, or the text needs to come a bit upper, so that that it is aligned with the image. This part as well, so the text needs to go up and the image needs to come down a bit so that they are aligned. Let's have a look here. This one is fine, but as you can see here, we have a lot of padding added on this part. This is looking good. Here we resized it differently than the others, because here we added on sizing, because digital marketing is a longer word, so I added on sizing so that it is visible more nicely. But in this tablet view and mobile views, it is not looking good. This part is fine. This part will be fine. We just need to remove the spacing. This image needs centering over here. The footer is fine. Great. Let's just have a look on this one. This is just basically a mess. And over here, I will actually show you how I managed to create this. So these custom made blocks, which we already created this part, and basically everything. We just put it on different places on the mobile views, and I will show you how to actually do that. And this is what I want to focus on. This will be taking us the most time. This part can be done very quick. Here we need to actually show Jane's face. We need to position the image in near the top of the page, and maybe this John, maybe we can call him Johnny Doe. He will be also coming probably a bit higher in the background image, but the footer is looking quite shabby. Good. The mobile is probably the same. As you can see, I don't want to have a lot of text over here and then an image and then again an image and then a lot of text. So what we will be working on is actually getting that separated so that we have about an image, some text, and then features, an image, some text. So we will actually putting some things on one place, moving the images from one device away and then putting it on the other device. So I want to focus on that one. So it is almost 2 hours video, but I will go longer just to share this with you, because this is the most time-consuming part of any website build, to actually make it look nice. So what I do is I go step by step and design everything on every device. So now we finished this desktop view. Now let's go to laptop view, and I will click one more time so that laptop and everything smaller from there. Okay, I will click this block. As you can see, this whole block is chosen, and I will add on some padding, some side padding, so that it looks a bit nicer. And immediately here, I will delete this top padding so that everything looks in the same height. Okay, there as well. Great. So this is already looking better. Here, I want to just remove the spacing a bit, like that. And then here as well, just remove the spacing. Yeah, like that. This is looking great. So this part, we can maybe let's just try to just leave the text and just move away the icon a little bit so that it is not in the way of the actual letters. So what I did is I chose the container, and using the spacing, I will just give it a go. Yeah, let's just leave it at this, maybe a bit like that. Yeah, I will leave this out. this graphic design is also not visible. So I will go into sizing and choosing width relative to the page. I can actually size it so that it is visible. Graphic design. Yeah, I chose the text. I should choose the container itself, like that, in sizing relative to the page, like that. And then I go back to the text because I made a mistake, and I move it back. What just happened? I didn't choose the correct one. Okay, so sizing relative to the parent. There we go, 100%. Awesome. So what I did first is I chose the text itself, made it relative to the page, and size it out. But I didn't want to do that one. I wanted to actually take the container itself and make the container a bit bigger. So this is what I just fixed now. And now you can see all the buttons are in the same line. And yeah, I just needed to kill a mosquito that was biting me the whole time, and I successfully did that. But yeah, now I am going on to the next section, and which is this one. I will add on some padding on the sides so that it is not looking so close to the edge of the screen. So what I can do is also try to space everything into the center vertically, and maybe, yeah, I don't like how that looks. I want them to be on the side like that. So I will just take the block and working the left and right padding, just move them a bit closer, like 2 rem. That's fine. It's looking great. Over here, that was the problematic title. I will just make this padding a bit smaller, like that. This is looking great. I will not touch this part. We finished with the laptop view. David Lemon, when I reordered the order of bringing the elements like you showed, it did fix it for me as well. Thought it was just me. Yeah, no, it is. It is. You just need to sometimes go a step back, and then it fixes everything. But now we did the laptop view. Let's just go into the tablet view and everything smaller. Okay, so here I would probably want to move the image a bit lower so that it is not so much text without an image on the side. So I will choose only the image. As you can see, I have the image chosen. I will go into the spacing, and then using the inner padding, I will just move the image a bit lower, like 8 rem. Now it looks great. Okay, over here I can do the same, maybe just move the image a bit lower. No particular reason, just a little bit. There we go. This is looking fine. The text is nicely broken up into 2 sections now. This is looking fine. However, this is not looking fine. So here we need to actually work on these things. So I will try to select the icon and make the icon smaller. Okay, and now I will select the text, make the text size smaller, and then using the container that holds the actual text, I will make it relative to the page like that. Bam. Great. So this rest I can also, the description I can also make a bit smaller, 1.125. 1.125 rem is looking great. Let's just continue on with this one. I want this one to be smaller. So this is the text. Now I go up one level, choose the container. In the sizing, I will just make it a bit smaller, teeny tiny bit smaller. And then the icon itself, I can just resize like that. Maybe push it away a bit using actually, let's just do it with the same thing over here, which is the container that holds the icon. Itsy bitsy teeny weeny. Here we go. And it looks great, actually. And this one a bit as well. Web design the same way. So we can start with the icon itself. Using the text element, we can just resize it to number 3. Web design, we can just resize this way. We choose the container itself, and using the sizing, we just play around relative to the page, and then we make it spaced out nicely. Awesome. And then we just decrease this, and now the buttons are all aligned. Great, I'm happy with this. The button is starting to look a bit not nice, so let's just decrease the font a bit, and now it is looking better. Let's start working together. Why is it that when I move the text font size, that the whole thing is going down and not bigger? That is a mystery to me. So let's just see if there is anything special applied to this one. Sizing. I'll just leave this one. It doesn't look bad. It looks kind of okay. This part, we need to just make the description a bit smaller. This one a bit smaller. And then maybe the lady in the background to be positioned in the center. Maybe to the top. We cannot put her on the top. Johnny also. Johnny Doe has a big name, so we'll try to work on that one as well. Try to position him in the middle. And Johnny will get a smaller name. Like that, 1.5. We can also resize the rest 1.5. Here we go. And then this one as well. This is 1 REM. We'll just pop it a bit smaller. There we go. So now I believe this is looking better. I don't need a lot of spacing on this one. So this is my block, but over here I have added on some spacing in the margin when I was showing you guys what I'm working on. So I believe 3 is fine when I leave it. Oops, sorry guys. Here as well, I believe top needs to be a bit smaller, 3. And here as well, just a bit smaller. There we go. Yeah, I'm happy with the horizontal tablet view. Let's just go have a look what mess we have on the vertical tablet view. So Johnny is looking nice. Jane, not so much. We need to actually get her to be visible, and we need to, what do we need to do? How is it looking like on this device over here? She's looking fine on this device. Why is it not giving me the same? I'm not quite sure, but let's just see what we can do with her. So contain, cover, auto, no. Cover. This is where she's looking the best, but we need to actually show her a bit more. Maybe if I go and actually delete the top a bit. Let's just try with that. That's great. I believe Leonard is correct. It's just not set up to be optimized in the sizing. But all of these are set to be on the same relative to the page 32, I believe. Yeah, relative to the page 32. I will leave Jane as she is now. I hope that didn't change a lot the other devices. That's fine. I will leave Jane. When we come into the mobile view, her face will be invisible, so I will leave her as it is now, even though I'm not super happy with that. Okay, over here I will work with padding. I will just leave a bit of less padding. And why isn't that changing it? Not sure. Let me just save and refresh the builder. That's a great question. Eldon is asking, how do you juggle back and forth from this webinar and build at the same time? I am really happy when people do it. I don't know how. I I tried to follow a couple of times a webinar when I was building with the webinar itself, and I wasn't that successful. But there are people that can manage it, and ladies can manage multitasking. It's like inbuilt in them. For some reason, I don't know. My wife, when we are driving, she is drinking coffee, talking on her phone, um, painting her nails and doing her makeup at the same time. And I was like, and most probably, most of the time I'm holding the wheel, because I don't know how she can do all this. I'm very stressed when ladies are driving, because they can do so many things at the same time, and they're okay with that. And I believe this is something that is inbuilt in a lot of women and ladies. I don't know how, but yeah, I'm just, whoa, good job though if you can do that. So I clicked on the middle container, which is the middle box over here, and I will be spacing this out. And I will show you a trick how to work with this one to get a custom look. The first thing I want to do is I want to duplicate this one over here and pull it above digital marketing. Okay, now when I did that, I will click on the container that is holding my icon itself. I will click layout and then none. Okay, so I want to hide it. I completely hide it on this device. And on this device, I want this part, the digital marketing and the container, to be sized relative to the parent 100%. Okay, I want my text to be in the middle, and I also want the container to show me stuff in the middle, like that. Okay, so now I can do digital marketing with a bigger font. I can do some spacing from the icon itself, like that. And there we go. So now when we actually go here, we just need to turn off the icon that is on the top, which we'll actually need to do on a couple of devices. So now we have this icon over here. I want to hide it on this device, which will hopefully hide it on all bigger devices. There we go. And on this device, we show it, but hide the other one. So this is what I want to do. Great. And on here, I also want this one to show, but the bottom one to not show. Great. However, as you saw, when I centered everything on this device, on these two devices, I centered everything in the middle. The centering also applied over here on this on the bigger devices. So we'll need to go back and then rework those, but this is expected. So don't be like, oh my God, I just broke it and I cannot. This is expected. So you need to go back and actually change it, because now the software understands, okay, so here you want it on this side, but here you changed it. Okay, let me just change it back. Maybe you want it like that, but then you need to go back to the bigger devices and actually say, ho, 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 hold your horses. I actually want it on that way. So you need to tell this to the software. It doesn't know automatically. So web design are lovely hands. For some reason, I don't know why I chose this one, but let's just pop it in here. And I hide this whole container. As you can see, the container, not only the icon, but the whole container holding this icon. I will go to layout, and instead of flex I will set it up to none, so this is hidden. And then over here, this container that is holding now the icon and the text, I will size it relative to the parent 100%. Now this bottom line is, as on here, it is now touching the borders of this green highlighted container, and then the text spaced in the middle, and we choose this container, and we put layout vertically in the center like that, and then also in this container everything to be in the center, vertically centered. Awesome. You can choose if you want to work with a smaller line or a longer line. This is something you can choose from. So when we set this last step up, as you can see here, we set this up to be for the container. Let me just click out quickly. So you can see now the line, this border on the bottom is big. It's a full width of this container. So we can actually choose if we want the full width or not the full width. And the way we do that is by choosing this vertical or not vertical. You see, now it is not full width, and now it is full width. Now if you set this up, it is changing. We can choose, I believe, block, and it is changing back for some reason. Let me just see why. Can I actually pull this one out of? Hold on for a second. Container. Yes, for some reason this popped it into the same container and the icon. I don't want it here. Let's just delete you. Thank you. And then let's just duplicate the icon, and I want it over here, not inside the text itself. It just doesn't want to listen. So what I'm trying to do is, this icon is positioned in this container, as you can see, and not in this container. And over here, this small hand is just not going out from that container for some reason. So this is what I'm struggling with. But let's just try to move everything below. Let's just see how that works. Okay, this one below as well. Okay, that's not exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, so this is a container, and I want to move the whole. Let's try to move it now. I'll probably just pull in another container. If you don't want to cooperate with me, well, then I am not willing to cooperate with you. So layout, space at the center. There we go. So now I can increase the web design to this one, 2.25. I believe this is the same. Yeah, 2.25. There we go. Now I can just move this one way using the spacing. There we go. I believe this was 0.5, not quite sure. 125. Okay, so let's just do the same 125. 125. There we go. So now this one is showing on this device, but we want to hide it on this device. So this was the web design, and I want to hide the whole container now that I use. So layout, and then none. Okay, and then it should be hidden on this one as well. Completely broke our styling, but doesn't matter. We'll just go back and redo it. And let's see how it looks on our mobile device. It is looking very bad, but that is because of this one relative to the page. And we will work with that later on. The problem was that this device was selected but not the other one. So when I did any kind of changes, it didn't apply on the mobile. But never mind, this is just a mistake. When I'm designing, I need to be careful of these. So yes, thank you very much, guys, for staying. If you want to watch this longer, then you can. But if you are doing the same mistakes I am, then I will show you exactly how to fix those. And this is for some very important to know. So I will be doing the last block, which I will immediately position it in a container, because I don't want to be messing around with it anymore. There we go. And in this container, I will hide. Okay, there we go. So now this container, or actually this container over here, I can size relative to the parent 100%. Okay, so the text I can position in the center. The icon I can position in the center. Layout, center, there we go. This one I will increase the size of 225 and then add on some top spacing of 125, I believe. Yes. Good. So this looks great. Now I can just go back in here and then actually redo all these so that this was the digital marketing. This was set up already. So I want to center in the middle. This one, I want this to be 225. What I'm doing is actually redoing. So going back and just redoing those changes so that this is also changing on this part. Again, that one over here is set up to none. So as you can see, this is also changing. So now it is set up to none. And then this one, the whole block is set up in sizing to relative to the parent 100%. Now this is supposed to be always here, over here as well. Good. Now that is changed. Now the last part I need to do is set this up in the middle. Set up in the middle and set up the description in the middle. There we go. So now this one in the middle, and now spacing, layout, vertically centered. Okay. What if I don't choose the vertical, but I just choose the centering? Yeah, it doesn't give us a good way. It pops back to flex for some reason. Doesn't matter. Let's just do it this way, that I choose layout, vertical, center this way. Okay. I'll also work this one, layout. Why is it showing up here okay and then the other one not? Okay, and here layout. Okay, so only on this one this part is set up to be, yeah, this is why, relative to the parent 100%. There we go. Found it. Great, but you understand it now. There is a couple of things what you need to do when you're resizing for mobile. Most of the times is spacing, sizing, and that's it. Sometimes you need to duplicate things, hide it on one device, and then show it on the other device. But this is not something you need to do a lot. If you want, you can have a look at my training that I did on actually responsiveness, hiding elements on different devices. There I went into more depth on everything that you can do using this technique, which I showed you now. This is a bit more advanced. In case you don't want to do this on your side, you don't have to, but it is good to know that this is a possibility. Some people will just create one version of their site and leave it, but I believe that we can do better if we just actually spend a bit more time working on it. So let's just move these away to 2 rem. And this is the actual place where I want to do one more thing. So over here, I will remove the spacing from the top. And then over here, on the big devices, this looks good, okay? But on the mobile, the same image is on the top, and I don't want it on the top. I want it over here below the features, okay? So I want features, image, and then text. So what I will do is I will just click on this image, layout, none, okay? And then I will duplicate it. I want to duplicate it, pull it over here. If I manage, pull it below the features. For some reason, it is not coming below the features. What I will do is I will just put in another container below it. There we go. Now we have features, and then here we go. We have the image inside that container. I want to put this on block, and I want the container that is holding this image to be spaced out a bit from the features title itself, 2 rem, and over here is there. Yeah, there is also a spacing. So now this is showing on these 2 devices, but on this one, we'll need to go back to these as well. I want this image with the container itself to disappear. So I will click layout none, and this one on this device, I want it to be shown. So layout block. This will also do the same thing over here, but on this device it is showing block. However, for some reason the transparency is applied, and also these red check marks, we just need to remove that, and then it is working fine. So now we have on these 2 devices, on a mobile and tablet view, we hide the first image, we duplicated the image and put it below the features description over here. So this is how it will be looking like on the mobile. Now I want to do the same thing with this image. As you can see, I want about, image, and then the text. So what I will do over here is I will just duplicate the image itself. Where is the button? Here we go. Duplicate it, click on the image over here, and then try to pull it up above over here. It is again not working, but it is not stopping us because we have containers to use. So we will pull in a container just below this about part, and then we add on our image inside this container. Let's just leave it there. We just completely missed the container. Here we go. And remove the spacing from the image because there's our 8 rem. Let's just leave it at 2 rem. Okay, so now this is looking better. We want to hide this image and the container itself. So I don't want this container to be showing up. I will click layout, display, none. Okay, and let's just go back onto a bigger device and then remove this image with the container itself. So layout none, and then over here we want this one to be shown. Ooh, fudge, I just clicked on this device and then didn't remove the rest. So let's just go back. The first one I want to show, block, okay, the image, and then the container itself, layout block. Okay, here we go. But over here I don't want it to show this one, but I want this to show. I hope you are following. I hope this is not too hard to understand. What I'm doing is I'm saying, look, when I have 2 columns next to each other, I want this one to show over here, but when I'm on a mobile, I want it to be actually showing over here. So I need to hide this one and then duplicate it so that it is showing here and not here. So this is what I'm doing, like very, very extremely simply explained, but it takes a bit of tweaking. So when we are on a laptop, we want this one to be hidden, but when we're on a desktop, I want to actually show this one and this height. So this part, this container, I want it to be block, but the transparency is 0, background, just to remove those things. Okay, over here as well. So this I don't want to show, and I will set this up to be none on a desktop device. There we go. On a laptop device, it is none. Over here is none. Over here is display. Perfect. So this is what I want to see. Let me just see how it looks on a smaller device. So on a smaller device, on a mobile, on a tablet, this contact us button looks good. On a mobile device, it doesn't look good. So I will just decrease the font a bit. Contact us. Maybe just put it over here. There we go. Also move the sizing on top and bottom a bit. And then left and right as well, so that it's not so big. There we go. Now it's looking better. Good. So this part is done. On a mobile view, I want this about to be actually showing in the middle, but it is not showing up because we need to set up the layout of the whole container to show up in the middle vertically. And it is this one over here. Perfect. So this is now showing in the middle. I can just place the text also to be showing in the middle and then to resize it a bit. Most probably these changes will appear also on the bigger devices, so we'll just need to go back and change it back. And there is no particular reason why that is done. I believe this just needs a bit more attention. But yeah, these two images are hidden because this first one and then this one is showing. So over here, I also want this one to be vertically in the center. So this is now features. I want this one to be in the middle like that. This one as well. Our blobs with these icon list items to be in the middle. That is fine. Over here, we just need to resize this text a bit. I believe this looks good. 1.5. Maybe work with a padding on the side like that. And padding as well over here. The sizing I will not touch. There we go, 1.5. This part is looking great because we already set it up, except this part. The rest is fine. Over here, I also want to just space this in the center. Okay. This one as well. Maybe look into the container itself or this one, and then work with the relative to the page. Nope. I believe this is actually looking good. I don't need to work do anything else. There is the text is nicely displayed, so this needs to be 1.5. Remove the padding a bit. 2.5. This one over here, spacing, remove the padding. There we go, 0.5, maybe 1. This is looking good. So here are Jane Doe, Johnny, everybody is visible. Here we have our logo is just a bit. Here we go. Our logo is now visible. Maybe we can add on some margin to show up a bit like that. Great. So now we fixed it on a mobile, but now let's just go backwards and see what we broke. So here it is spaced in the middle. As you can see, everything is nice, tidy. Okay, perfect. So this is how I designed the sites. I just want to go back and actually review everything if I broke something so that I can fix it. This didn't change for some reason. Let's just put it back. Yeah, this doesn't want to change. I believe this is already set up on that side, but it's just not showing up properly. Here we go. Good here as well. And then over here, as you can see, we have some issues here. We didn't hide this icon properly, so I will go to layout and then hide it. Over here we want to work with the spacing because we just spaced it out a bit too much on top and bottom. There we go. So we'll just need to see how this looks on a mobile or actually on a device when we publish it. I'm not quite sure if this is what I wanted, but let's just leave it and then see it at the end. Over here, this one I believe is fine. Maybe this features needs to be on this side. And then the text actually is centered. So let's just put it back like that. Here as well. Spacing this way, but I want the text to be spaced this way. So yeah, guys, this is boring, but I really wanted to show you this one. And I know that we are doing 2.5 hours already, but this is important in case you are actually going in to really customize the site to show up as you want it to be, as you set up to be. This is the process you would need to follow. And as I said over here, this container is a bit funky, so I will need to resize it relative to the page. Okay, so this is full. I'm not quite sure what is the problem over here. Why is this so high? Let's just put this over here relative to the parent auto. Like that. Sizing. Yeah, that's relative to the parent should be, I believe. Let's just see how it is over here. So sizing is relative to the parent. Yeah. As well, here we need to put back the layout to be this way. Here as well, the layout to be on this way. Why is this text not aligning properly? Did I apply some spacing? No, this was on there. I believe this is the problem. I'll just leave it like this. I believe this was the issue. Let me just put this back in the layout to left. This text also to the left. Okay, so this one is looking okay. This one is looking okay. Let me just go back and see if I broke anything else over here. It is still a bit too high for some reason, but I'll just need, this one is also too high. We'll just need to see how it looks like when we actually preview the page. Good. So hopefully now, guys, we have everything set up, and let's just have a look. Let's just do a leap of faith and just have a look how it looks like. We created this page together in a couple of hours. Okay, so this needs to be removed. This is a look. This is showing the transparent image over here. Okay, this is looking fine. As you see, it is not showing the duplicated image. That's the second image that we created. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, here we still need to remove this with using the transparency. It is showing up. Once this is actually gone, it will be probably coming. These icons will be popping onto the right places, I believe. We'll just need to see if that happens, but everything else is okay. So let me just make sure that on all the devices we managed to do what we wanted. As we can see, So here it looks good, it looks good. There's a couple of problems with that shadow happening. Over here it doesn't happen, so this image is not showing up anymore on the laptop view. This is looking fine. This is not looking completely okay. We need to work with this one. But as you see, now when we don't have the shadow effect from hiding one of the elements, it is actually popping in to be in the same row, except this one needs to be a bit more on the side. But that's fine. We can work that out, and then the rest is good. Let's just see the the horizontal tablet. So this is the horizontal tablet. This is looking good. This is looking fine. Actually, this one is okay. Maybe the text needs a bit of work. Maybe needs centering, but it is not looking too bad. This is fine. This is okay. This is okay. Let me just go one below. So that this needs to be worked on. Maybe we need to move away this spacing from the button just so that these numbers are nicely aligned. Let me just go into this. This is the vertical tablet view. As you can see, everything is center aligned from here, and it is looking pretty nice. These ones are aligned correctly. I'm happy with that. This is also nicely aligned, and that is actually looking pretty good. Let me just do the mobile view like that. So this is our footer. These are our team members. This is looking great. This is fine. This is looking great. This is also fine. Bam, guys, we did it. It actually looks pretty cool. We have a couple of things. So on the desktop, we need to remove this transparency. So let's just do that one. So over here, if we go into layout, it is showing as block. We need to make sure it is on none, so that it actually doesn't show up. None here as well. Layout, none. And the first image, I believe this one was this is the only one that was not showing, but this one was still showing, and I believe I here chose the container together with everything. So if I choose none, it should be disappearing. Yes. And then the next thing what I wanted is over here, setup. Okay, so it is now not showing up, but my menu items on the tablet were not showing up properly. So over here, I want to just make sure that my spacing of this button is a bit smaller so that the menu elements can show up nicely. What else? We had one of the icons over here was not looking pretty nice on one of these devices. I'm not quite sure which one. I believe on this one, but let's just save it and then preview it again so that we know what we are working with. Hopefully now yes, perfect. So this image is gone. These images are gone, so it is looking nicely over here. That's fine. This text needs to be resized. I know why this is happening actually, because the text in this was also resized, but it shouldn't have been. This text needs to be outside like that. Bam. David is fixing the world's problems. And it didn't change anything else except I just pulled it out from the container, and that is great. What else? So that is fixed. This is looking great. I'm just showing you guys how I am working with responsiveness. Whenever somebody hires me this to actually do a responsive design, this is the exact same process I'm going through. So on this smaller device, I believe we can just resize the font of the menu. It is actually not showing up. We'll need to refresh the builder so that we can just do one size smaller font text on the menu, and then it will be showing up nicely. But let's just check this one on a smaller device. Actually, this is it. I will not even be touching anything else. I believe this is coming to an end. And let me just save, refresh it, just edit the size on this device of the mobile menu, and then we are actually good to go, guys. We'll do one more last check, of course, but I believe the text sizing can fix it. Here we go. So it is looking smaller, but we can also resize this one as well to 1 rem, and now it is looking great. So the last thing we can do is to actually choose this mobile menu, increase the size of the font over here, and then space it in the middle. Okay, so now when you actually press this, it actually pops up in the middle, so you can just choose. It is looking much better. We can also do a different background. We can do black, and then the text color to be actually yellow. Bam! Maybe this looks great. Let's just test it out. Let's just save it and test it out. I'm actually interested in how that looks like. Yes. So in preview, hopefully in the bigger devices didn't change the, yeah, where's my menu? Save, refresh. That actually happened one time when I was editing the nav menu. Okay, so the text is this one on this device, but on this device I actually want the text to be yellow. Okay, so here's my menu. On this device I want the menu to be bigger, this big, this one as well. On here I want my text to be as well a bit bigger. On here I want my text to be exactly this size, but on here I want my menu to be big. Hopefully now when we save it, it will be showing up. I believe this will be fine now. Let's just have a look. Yes, it looks great. So this is our page. It is looking pretty posh. And then when we pop it out, just to test it out, we should have a navigation menu that is resizing the text. And when it's mobile, black. Bam. It is looking great. I believe this is looking great. Yes, so guys, this is at the moment the conclusion of the video of this build. So now we built out the page from scratch, and modified it for mobile devices as well. So I will be publishing this one, and then if you want, you can copy it over. This will be 3-hour page, okay, because we're already at 3-hour mark. So lemon.groovepages.com 3-hour page, in case you want to have this as a template. There you go, guys, you really deserve it. I do apologize for making it long, but when you really want to be careful about every single detail and make it look as you want it, you just need to spend some more time on it. I will try to go through some questions that you had now, but yes, people are making fun of the words I say, pretty posh. Yes. So guys, this is the end of the build. I want to also share with you the other page, the contact page that I built. The only thing you will need to do is just copy over the navigation bar from this page that we built today and use it on the page, on the contact page that we built out together. I believe this was Monday. There the navigation menu is not looking as good as on the one we did together today. So yes, this is the contact page that I created. You can just modify it. You can make it look how you want it to be. You can change over the footer because it is a different footer than on the other one, but you can use this one in conjunction with the page that we built out today, and this will make you have 2 pages out of a couple that I'm planning to do. So the next will be building up on this one as well. So this is not part of the build. So let me just remove this one, save, publish. And if you want, actually, when I was building this one, we didn't have the icon button. So you can do an icon of Facebook and then typed out Facebook next to it. You can do that one. When I was doing this build, we didn't have that options. So lemon.groovepages.com/contact lemon. Okay, so this is the other page that you could have built out with me on a previous build day, but we didn't manage to go through the responsiveness because it was giving us problems. So the navigation bar was giving us problems and these boxes were giving us problems. But today we went through more than what I would have showed you here. So this is the most important, that we didn't let it out and then just left it there. It's like, I cannot do it, and blah, blah, blah. I'll just run around or run away from it. We actually went in there and made it responsive. So these are the 2 pages you can copy. Just make sure you swap out the contact us, basically this heading, navigation bar, and then the footer. Take it from the one that we built today. It will be looking better. It will be working better. Just change out the links. So just connect your home link to your home page. Services are coming next. We will also be doing a pricing page, but then you will have an about us page, contact us page, homepage. We already created a couple of home pages from previous builds, but to next build we will be focusing on either the services or the pricing page, because there is also a bit of things you need to think about when you are working with those pages. But yes, now you have 2 pages out of 5, I believe, that I want to show you how to create. After that, you will have a full website ready to go. And yes, that's my goal. But now it's time to come and answer some questions. We have 15 minutes and I want to leave at the 3-hour mark of this video. So I will be diving in and then answering some questions. In case you had some questions, I do apologize for not answering them. I really wanted to go through everything so that you have sorry, all the answers and all the knowledge when you are working with mobile responsiveness. As you've seen, when you change something, you actually need to go back and rechange it back so that the software understands that, okay, on this device I want it to look like this, but on this device I want it to look like this. So there is a bit of tweaking needed, but it's just a bit of time. There is nothing extra super special that you need to know. Just sizing and spacing in the mobile responsiveness. There's nothing else you need to do. Great. Perfect. So let me just go to the questions. Question from Keisha. The picture in the Let's Start Working Together block looks to have the color overlay on it. Did you design the photo that way before pulling it into the image library, or the tablet? On the tablet, you the same image. If you wanted it to show something other than the next, what approach would you take? Let me just have a look. So we built it out together in this video, Keisha. I chose an image from the image library. I just imported it and basically didn't do anything special with it, just put a color overlay. That was it. But you're saying that the necks are visible on the tablet view. Let me just have a look quickly. So here it's looking okay. Here as well. I'm not quite sure what you are saying on your side. Okay, maybe on the mobile we can actually position it. So if you are on the mobile, let's just click on this device, and on the background I want it to be positioned somewhere else, which is not allowing us to do. Let's just do contain. Yeah, that's quite strange because it is not allowing us to change it. If we do a contain parallax, it is looking bad. We do a non-repeat, it is also looking bad. At this point, this image looks kind of okay when we cover it. If you have a strange image that looks good on all the devices, but on a smaller one, it just looks strange, apply a bit more color overlay on it. Like make it darker, make it just a little bit visible that there's an image over there. This will hide it. It will not look very ugly. So this is my approach. This is what I would do with it. Okay. Bam, bam, bam. David Lemon out there crushing the training again. Yeah. Okay. So let's just see. Oh God, I know people will be complaining. Oh my God, David, you did a 3-hour training. I was like, yeah, kinda. Question: if we make an edit in one of the view, will the changes affect the page builder's other aspects from desktop to maybe point view? How do you make it stay? So this is, Leonard, the thing that I'm saying. Sometimes when you change one thing, for example, I want to center everything on this part, but then when I go back, it is actually centering as well over here. So then you need to go back to this one and say, software, look, I know you're trying your best, but please, on this device, I want it to be actually aligned to the left and not center aligned. So you just need to give that command again so that it knows what to actually do. I believe there will be some updates coming to this one, that this will be easier to manage later on. But at this moment, a temporary solution is just to go back. Once you set up something, go back and then see if all the devices are set up exactly as you want them to be. So this is my recommendation, and there is not much else that you can do at this point. In case you are watching a replay, in case this is quite far from August as it is now, you probably have an easier solution than we at the past have. But yes, this is a temporary solution. Dun, dun, dun. Hi, David. One question for you. What you can tell us regarding SEO optimization for all the websites that we will create via this tool? Is there some function that can help us boost our websites on Google? You don't need tools with this software. Head over to YouTube and type in SEO GroovePages. Okay. Basic SEO principles when using GroovePages. This is a video what I created, and it is very powerful. So I highly suggest you watch it. You learn everything about about SEO and why our platform is better. Also, from Groove Digital, did you know GroovePages is also awesome for SEO? This is a this is a different type of video than what I do. It is a 5-minute video. Mine one is 1 hour, 1.5 hour video. But this one mentions in very short details why we are better than anything else, and you don't need actually a lot of tools, or actually tools, to have cool, very good optimized pages for SEO. So these are the 2 videos I suggest you to watch. Let's just have a look at other questions. Q&A. Mohammed asking, I'm still having issue with setting up a custom page URL. For example, my domain, best website builder, not sure how to access URL when it's published on your own domain. Only thing I can suggest you is, in case you want, you can also have a look at domain GroovePages. Just type this into the YouTube search, full guide on getting domain connected to GroovePages, or GrooveDigitalAcademy.com. If you go into the library, you can see the inside the GrooveFunnels training. You come into GroovePages tab, publish your site. Watch these videos, watch every one of these videos. There's 4 of them, and the longest one I believe is around 8 minutes, 9 minutes or so. So you have time, and it's not actually as long as my videos, but if you watched all these, you know how to connect your domain and what you actually need to do. So Mohammed, is just a matter of researching a bit more. When you come to my videos, I believe this one is set up with timestamps already, so you don't need to watch the whole one. You can just skip over and then look through the parts that interest you. Okay. I don't think I can tell you how much your tutorials help. So much to learn. Absolutely, Victoria. But I don't suggest you to start with mobile responsiveness. I suggest you to start with putting your pages together. And then once you understand what each tool does, what each element is, then I believe you are ready to go to the next step and making your sites custom mobile responsive. And custom, I mean by hiding elements and doing things like this. After that, you're a designer. You have basically time and knowledge to take on clients and then work with this software and get websites out there in case this is something that you want to do. um David Lemon, when I reordered the order of bringing the elements. Okay, so this is a comment I read already previously. Question from Leonard. When we build out pages and site, can we publish it right away? The only part of GrooveFunnels that's active is GroovePages and GrooveSell, right? Not correct. Leonard, we have Groove Affiliate and GrooveVideo as well. So when you go to your dashboard, let me just open it over here. We have GroovePages active, GrooveSell active, Groove Affiliate active, and GrooveVideo active. So these are the apps that are active at this moment. We also have e-commerce. We have GrooveCart, which is active, and we also, basically it is not from here, but when you go to my.groovecart.com, this is active inside GrooveFunnels. This is available in case you are a paid member. And then we also have marketplaces. We have Groove Marketplace that is active as well. You can visit the marketplace, and I will be doing videos on that later on. But we have GroovePay is active as well. We have Groove Ads is active as well. In case you want to have your ads managed by somebody else, then this is active as well. But from the apps, 1, 2, 3, 4 apps at this point are active. Let's just see. Question: how can we have overlapping with GroovePage? Overlapping, if you mean a Z-index, this is not something that I would at this point suggest. What overlapping means, for everybody that doesn't know, is, let me just show you an example. Let's just do this one. It will probably break our site, but I will not save the changes. So I want this container over here to come on this one with the background. So I will do this one, and using the margins, as you can see, it is going behind it, so it is not overlapping. Let's just try to pull this block on top of these. So I go to make negative margins, and now I have overlapping. But this doesn't work every time. So overlapping is have one thing come on top of the other. It is not 100% how it should be. We are missing a Z index, and there will be a Z index, which is, the X and Y index, and the Z index is the depth of it, actually. So when we have the Z index here in this custom attributes, we can set up that which element we want on top. If this is the one we want on top, so when we pull this element on top of this one, that the white is showing up, or when we pull it, then we can go below it. So the Z index will be usually set up with 1 or 2, and then you set up which one you want on top, which one we want on the bottom. So this is the overlapping. We don't have that one yet, but in case you go to feedback.groovefunnels.com, you can actually vote for GroovePages feature request Z index. I believe it was somewhere around GroovePages feature request, or overlay, text overlay, image hover, cursor, sub user. It was somewhere around here, and I'm pretty sure it was called Z index. So index. Not sure if I can find it. I mean, I cannot find it, but I saw it here, and it is here, and I upvoted it previously. So just look through these GroovePages feature request, vote on it. And I actually talked with the developers as well, myself and the other designers, and they asked for it previously. So this is something that is coming, and it is planned. So in case you find it, you can upvote it. Okay, so this was actually answered already. Question. I have a few questions. How do I find your contact? You can send me a message on Facebook. So it's David Lemon. I'm on the Facebook Messenger. Just type it there. Or david@groovedigital.com. You can contact me there, Leonard, as well. Nicole, what number can I use to speak to Groove? God, it was said actually on one of the webinars. I will need to come back to you on this one. Nicole, there is a contact number. I just don't know it yet. I don't use it. What does REM stand for? REM is something like a metric, or basically centimeters and inches. This is just a different system of measuring distance and measuring length and height and things like this in the design world. When you're designing for different devices, REM is used to make things mobile responsive. When you set up pixels are actually dots. So if you set it up at 10 pixels, this can be looking good on a big screen, but on a small screen this could be looking huge. So you don't want this kind of measurement. You want it to be REM is like a percentage, depending on the screen how big the text is. So this is what REM is, and this is why we use it. Is global styles for the current site or for all sites? So when you set up the global styles, this is only for this site, for all pages on this site, but only for this site. If you set up a global style on this one, on this site, for example, now we created an about us page on one site, on another page that I created, it will not be showing up. So this is only for this site. I would like to make a schedule around live webinars. Do you have a regular live schedule, David? All I have now is a Tuesday and Thursday. Thanks. We have, Robert, we have Groove Funnels, funnels.com/calendar. If you go on here, you can add it to the Google Calendar. It is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursdays now at the same time, basically at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or my time zone is 6 p.m. Eastern Central European Time, every day from Monday till Friday, same time at 12 p.m. EST. I'm having a webinar. So you can add it to the Google Calendar or the iCal. Just go to groovefunnels.com/calendar. I will link it out here for you guys in the chat as well. Here we go. And I have received a couple of new questions. Are you going to make videos about GrooveVideo? Yes. Are going to make videos about GrooveVideo? Yes. Tomorrow, Carol. My 3 button at the top of the page that has the delete icon is not showing properly. I can see the 3 squares, but no indication what they are. My 3 buttons at the top of the page that has the delete icon is not showing properly. This is not showing properly when you're going like this one, for example, you chose this. It is not showing properly because this is a new feature that was implemented. So when you're typing in text, for example, that they are not overlapping, you can see through them, but when you actually hover on it, then it actually shows up. So this is still being in the testing phase. We need to test how it works. I believe it works much better than previously, but yeah, this is not the final version of it, I believe. So there will be different versions of it. So that is it, guys. I will not apologize for the length of it, but I will apologize in case parts of it were boring. I really wanted you to know the whole part when I design a page, how I make it mobile responsive. I also gave you some tips on how to do these funky blobs that I like to play with, and things like this. So it is a long long video for everybody that was watching live, and it took 3 hours. But now we have a fully optimized page that you actually have the template for, and you can just copy it and then use it on your site. But yes, that is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow we'll be going over GrooveVideo. I will be telling you what you can do with it and things like this. But yes, in case you're watching the replay, you already know what GrooveVideo is. You can use it. But for everybody else, see you tomorrow in that video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye now.